I had a lot of questions for you surrounding anthropology. Because I feel like there's a lot of debate as far as where natives came from, and I feel like we can speak to the source at least, or somewhat of a knowledgeable base of what is this? Where did we come from? A lot of our creation stories say we've always been here. I know, at least for my tribe, our creation story is that we were a primitive man, always living where our village was, up on the Klamath, and creator gods came down and they helped us go from a primitive man to a more civilized human version of ourselves, right? But everybody has a different story. There's the Turtle Island story. So what is the scientific version, at least?
Scientific version?
The anthropological. I learned this in school, and then I guess what would be your opinion?
Well,
on
anthropology says we came over from the Bering Strait. Mm-hmm. That's what they teach you in college, but in which was a complete opposite of what I was taught from my elders. Growing up, I mean, before I went to school, I learned, American Indians crossed the Bering Strait. But that's not what really happened. And as Cahuilla, I mean, we have our own traditional story that we tell, but we were born right here. We were created right here, right where we're at right now.
That's what we say. So, and the Bering Strait, I've heard,
and I can talk more about that if you want.
Yeah, I've heard it's been disproved. I've heard since they found foots in the sand over, I think, near the Bay Area. Have you heard about that? That are 100,000 years old?
No.
And so that kind of disproves the Bering Strait narrative.
Over 100,000?
Yeah, because the Bering Strait wouldn't have been frozen over at that time. Because they say, I think that we came over something around 20,000 years ago. Is that what it is? Or
I've heard different numbers from different anthropologists, and I don't buy any of those numbers. I am sure people did come over. Yeah, I mean, people move around for sure. And if there was a time when it was frozen, the land was frozen, people could walk. People would move around. And I mean, we've seen the dugouts made out of the elephant tusk or the mammoth tusk, where they're made like a little quiche, a small little house. And we've seen some of their cultural materials in those little huts, in those living spaces all along the way. And but I haven't heard that it's been disproved, and I just don't buy it that all the native people that are here that populate the United States cross that border. Maybe some did at some point in time, and I think there might be some stories to that, but no one really talks to the native people. Nobody talks to the native people about where they come from. And so we haven't had a voice in history, and just up until the last couple of years. So that's why it's so important what we're doing right here, to talk about those ideas, that cultural history.
It doesn't make sense to me that they would come from the Bering Strait, Russia, or Siberia, where they're trying to say our DNA is closely related to. And then that we somehow populated all the way down to South America. And it wouldn't make sense that we have the Mayan and the Aztec cultures down there that built these incredible civilizations, but also migrated down. So what's your kind of idea behind that?
Well, the migration is a big part of the Cahuilla have a migration story, as do a lot of people here in Southern California. But as we see it, when our creators had passed away, moved on, the people were distraught and they felt lost, and they didn't know what to do. And so they kind of just picked up and left this area right here. and they went on this epic migration around the world. And that's what they say, around the world, around their world, not the. I don't believe it's to actually go from here and say over to China and come back. No, but we went in a circle, and we went south into Central America, the majority of the people, and then they started to come back up through New Mexico, Colorado, Idaho, Montana, and then they came back down the coast again.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so that's what they did. And some people, when, like the people that were in Central America, they continued to go down into South America. The people were curious, intelligent, and they wanted to know what Creator had made for them. And so they explored all parts of the earth.
Yeah, I saw that in your history. The Cahuillas say that you migrated from the north 5,000 years ago. That's part of your, at least Agua Caliente website from I read from your history.
So they say 5,000 years ago. I don't buy that. That's an early. What? It's not long. I mean, we've been. You go on the other part of their website, and they say we've been here since time immemorial. So what time immemorial is that? 5,000 years, or is that from the very beginning of time? But they don't have tribal people working for them, writing this history, and so even we have to educate our tribal members. We have to educate our tribal councils, and they don't. I mean, our tribal leaders, they know some things, but they don't know everything. And so this is where we need to educate our tribal leaders.